So we'd like to call the Zoning Board of Adjustments meeting for Wednesday, December the 17th at 5 p.m. Call the meeting to order. Do I have to have a second or anything on that? All right, so welcome to our December 17th meeting of the City of Tuscaloosa Zoning Board of Adjustments. Any written comments sent to the staff were forwarded to the board directly. Introduction of the staff members: Hudson Cheshire, Associate City Attorney; Joshua McKinney, Zoning Administrator; Lehman O'Leary, Planner. I ask that the board members introduce themselves, starting with my left.
Mary Catherine Holt.
Marty Hamner.
Tim Gillum.
Paul Rollins Jr.
Rodney Pelt.
By virtue of state law and city ordinance, the purpose of the Zoning Board of Adjustment is as follows. Here's appeals from the zoning officer's decision. Grant special exceptions to the zoning code in accordance with the terms as established by the City Council. Grants variances from the zoning code when strict enforcement creates unnecessary hardships. Circumstances that are not hardships include those that are: one, self-inflicted or self-created, inconvenience, or personal. The Zoning Board of Adjustments does not interpret or enforce subdivision covenants or HA rules. Those matters are not relevant areas of inquiry by the Zoning Board of any petition. There are sign-up sheets located outside for public comment. 4 speakers are allowed to speak in favor of the petition, and 4 are allowed to speak in opposition to the petition. All speakers will have a maximum of 5 minutes unless the board allows to vote a longer time. The board will take up items in order of our final agenda. The board will initially receive a presentation from the staff as to the details of the agenda item. After the staff's presentation, I will call upon the petitioner to present their case. The petitioner will have a maximum of 10 minutes unless the board votes to allow longer time. At the conclusion of the petitioner's remarks, I will call on any party in order of the sign-up who desires to support the petition. Thereafter, I will call on any party in order of the sign-up for those who oppose the petition. When it is your turn for comment, please introduce yourself, stating your name and address to the board. To provide your remarks, any written comments have been included into the record. After receiving the remarks of those who oppose the petition, the petitioner will have the opportunity to respond to those objections. Any rebuttal will be limited to 2 minutes unless the board votes to allow a longer time. If the petitioner presents any new information in response to the objections, the board will allow those who oppose the petition the opportunity to respond to the new information only. Any response will be limited to 2 minutes unless the board votes to allow a longer time. During the course of the presentation, you may be interrupted by any member of the board for clarification and additional information, such as interruptions will not reduce your allowed time limit. Once the board members are satisfied they have received all relevant information, I will close for further discussion by the public, at which time the board will discuss the matter and then vote. After the vote, you are free to leave. These proceedings are recorded and broadcast live. All in-person public comments should be made at the podium into the microphone. Any party aggrieved by a final judgment or decision of such zoning board of adjustment may within 15 days thereafter, appeal therefrom to the circuit court by filing with such board a written notice of appeal specifying the judgment or decision from which the appeal is taken. Do any of the members of the board have any conflicts of interest as to the agenda matters? If so, please state the same for the record. I would ask the staff to confirm on the record that proper notice has been given to all parties in interest as required by law as to all matters before the board tonight.
Yes, it has.
Approval amendments. With that, we'll begin the approval amendments as the Board of Adjustments has received a synopsis for the August, September, and October meeting. I move that we dispense with the reading of the amendments for the same unless there are any deletions, additions, or corrections.
Second.
Approved. Well, I need to vote, right? Yeah, so voting with Mary Catherine?
Yes.
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 Amendments approved.
All right, good afternoon, Board. Starting with our first case tonight, ZBA 11925, Robin Marty petitions for a special exception to allow the operation of a medical clinic at the property located at 3073 Palisades Court, zoned NC, Council District 6. Here we have an aerial view of the property and its zoning. This is just north of Skyland Boulevard along Dealership Row. This is what the property looks like from the street. I'll just show you some of the parking here. This is along the side of the building and in the rear. So the applicant is requesting a special exception to operate a medical clinic. A portion of the second floor will be turned into a birthing suite. That suite will accommodate one patient at a time and will be staffed with 2 to 3 employees, namely a midwife, doula, and potentially a medical assistant. No epidural or pain relief will be administered, and any patient requiring more than 6 hours of care or medical intervention will be transferred to a hospital. They'll operate as needed based on labor, with a maximum of 25 births per year allowed by their insurance currently. There's a floor plan showing the area on the second floor where they're going to be doing it. It's that circled blue or purple area there. The applicant described it as basically a glorified studio apartment, and I'll let them talk more about that. And then here are your decision-making standards for special exceptions. We did not receive any public comment. Do you have any questions for staff?
No.
Thanks.
Robin Marty.
Hi, everyone, and thank you so much for having me. My name is Robin Marty. I live at 53 The Downs, and I'm the Executive Director of WAWC Healthcare. I did send over some documents just to make it a little more clear what a birthing center is and what it is that we do in the city in order to help patients. But currently, our clinic is located on Jack Warner Parkway, and it is a much smaller site. We were recently given a fairly significant grant, and with that grant, we were able to purchase this new building at 3073, the Palisades. On this building, we are currently going to be doing exam rooms, counseling, and other medical services on the first floor. Many of our patients that we do see, however, are interested in potentially having birth in a birthing suite. A birthing suite is an individual stand-alone building where a person is able to give birth without any pain medication and with birthing support. For patients who are going to be at a birthing suite, they cannot be high-risk pregnancies. They have to be cleared in order to be certain that they are medically able to follow this sort of birthing center. And they will then be able to give birth in the labor room in our clinic. And after a short period of time in which they are monitored, they will be able to go home with their baby. This birthing center is only going to be used approximately 25 times this year at most, based on the malpractice insurance that we have at this moment. At some point, should this be something that the city seems to be interested in, as we have birthing centers in Birmingham and Huntsville, that might be something that we would try to expand. I'm happy to take any questions about what we're doing right now, and what we're going to be doing in the future.
Is this the first one in Tuscaloosa that y'all are doing?
Well, technically it would be the first one in Tuscaloosa. We do currently have a birth suite in our clinic that exists on Jack Warner Parkway. It has not been used at this time, but it is set up should a patient want to. That one did not require a variance because it was already set up as a medical center and an ambulatory surgical center.
What is the state regulatory body that overlooks?
Right, so right now, the ADPH has issued a number of different rules for birthing centers. However, those rules were seen as being too onerous for any of the birthing centers to be able to operate. The ACLU did do a lawsuit, and that lawsuit blocked all of the regulations that were presented by ADPH. That is actually in appeals right now, and there was another trial, I believe it was last week or the week before, and so there may be a new ruling. Either it'll be upheld or some of the regulations may go through. That should come sometime this summer. We are fully prepared in this suite to be able to adhere to all of ADP's regulations.
Great. Anybody have any other questions?
So we're just seeing this because it's not a medical, currently zoned as a medical facility, right?
That's correct.
The only question I had was, you said in the Jack Warner facility, on Jack Warner Parkway, y'all haven't done any births there?
No, there has not been any patient that has requested to have a birth yet.
Oh, so
It
why
is
do-
open
why
as
do
an
y'all need a
option.
bigger- Why do y'all need a bigger space?
Why are we getting a bigger space? Most of the care that we provide is actually prenatal care. It is birth support, it's sexual health care, it's free contraception. Essentially, the number of patients that we see for OBGYN care, OB care is probably about 25%.
Thank you. So we don't have anyone signed up to speak for or against. Anybody in the audience would like to speak? If not, I'd like to close for board comments, starting with my left.
I have no issues with this. You sound very knowledgeable about the subject matter, and so I don't have any issues with the special exception.
I agree with my colleague. The spot that you have is, looks very appropriate for medical use.
Yeah, I have no issues either. I think it's a great thing to be doing here, and looks like a good space. I have no issue.
Yeah, I have no issues. I'm in favor.
No issues.
All right. We'd like to close the petition now in ZBA. Look, this is the first time I've done this. Do I got to read it before we vote? Okay. ZBA 11925, Robin Marty petitions for special exception to allow the operation of a medical clinic at the property located at 3073 Palisades Court, Zone NC, Council District 6. Starting voting on my left.
Yes.
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 Petition passed.
Thank you very much.
All right, moving on to our final case tonight, ZBA 12025, William McDaniel petitions for a special exception to allow the short-term rental of a property located at 1431 Gardenia Avenue, Zone GPD, Council District 5. Here we have an aerial view of the property and its zoning. This is just behind former lofts and Texas Roadhouse. Here we have short-term rentals in the area. Looks like there's a few in the neighborhood. This is a view of the property from the street. William McDaniel will be the primary contact and will be available 24 hours a day during rental periods in case of an emergency. Petitioner currently manages 3 long to midterm rentals and a vacation rental. The house is equipped with driveway-facing camera and keypad locks. The house is owner-occupied. During rentals, the applicant will stay with Hotel Capstone for work purposes or another property in Trustville. The house has 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. The petitioner is requesting 6 to 7 adults and 3 vehicles. If approved, staff recommends 4 adults and 2 vehicles, provided 1 vehicle is parked in the garage. We did not receive any public comment. Do you have any questions for staff?
Has this ever been a short term before this property?
It was approved, I believe, in '23 with the same conditions that staff's recommending today. Thank you.
Mr. William McDaniel?
How's it going? Bill
how are you?
McDaniel, 1431 Gardenia Avenue.
Tell us what you got there.
Yeah, so this is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath garden home. It was previously approved as a short-term rental, had been used as that for the last couple years. We're having to go through the reconditioning of it because it's being transferred in ownership from my father-in-law to myself. So that's what has created the changeover on that. So I purchased the property in April, June timeframe of this year, and will be there myself. It is kind of the place I use in Tuscaloosa on a full-time basis.
Okay.
But I am not readily available on football weekends. I don't need it. So that's what the intention of the use has been. I did monitor it and run it for it when my father-in-law owned it. He has moved back to Georgia since then, so we went ahead and made that property transfer earlier this year.
Will you be the on-call locally?
Yes, I'm in town. I'm be on call. I'm always available for it. So, and it has already passed all the safety inspections. It has the fire extinguishers in place. It has the safety lights that the fire marshal requires. It was already passed through that process when we first zoned it.
If approved, you don't have any issue with staff's recommendation 4 and 2?
I'm sorry?
If it's approved, you don't have an issue with the 4 and 2 of the staff's recommendation?
Oh, no. I think that's right on line with what it can accomplish. I mean, yeah, It would be, it's a pretty small garden home. You wouldn't want a whole lot more in there.
Thank you.
So I have a quick question. I know you'll be the contact person,
Yes.
and you said you'll either be staying at the Hotel Capstone or in Trustville.
Typically on game weekends, I'm where the team's at or close by, depending on how the room rates shake out. The other property I have is in Trustville, but obviously not on game weekends. I'm here because typically I'm at the stadium 5 a.m. through into game kind of thing.
Yeah, that's what raised my antenna, because you said Hotel Capstone. I know if it's game day weekend,
Yeah.
getting a room is fairly difficult. But you
Yeah,
have
so
to get one.
typically Capstone or Homewood Suites are where I'm placed at on those weekends, but I'm not at the house on those weekends. So that's what the intent is. It's really football game weekends and then special events. Like when my father-in-law owned it, we would rent it for graduation weekends and probably less than, I'd say, 15 weekends a year, maybe not even that many, truthfully.
And I think the basis of the question, though, is if you did it for a special basketball game and you're out of town.
Correct.
You need to be local.
Yes, I'm here. I am in town. I'm just usually not using it myself.
All right. Anybody have any?
Honestly, about half the time my family uses it on football weekends.
All right, well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, cool.
Anybody have
Thank you.
Comments?
No.
Obviously, no one signed up to speak for or against, so we'll close public for board comment.
I have no issues with this, especially since it's been being used as dysfunction already, as long as we're good with the staff recommendations.
I agree. I have no issues.
I have no issues either. It's been approved in the past, and he's good with the 4 and 2.
Yeah, I have no issues. I'm in favor of staff recommendations.
No issues, but we have no incidents here previously or nothing like that?
No, sir.
Okay, I'm with it.
All right, so we'll read ZBA 12025, William McDaniel petitions for special exception to allow the short-term rental of property located at 1431 Gardenia Avenue, Zone GPD, Council District 5. Starting with voting from my left.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
Yes.
petition passed.